What's up, guys? So it's been asked, what is the deciding factor of what do we put on altars? So you've seen in my past videos my altars. So what is the deciding factor that I use when it comes personally to myself? So altars of worship are very personal. So that is why every altar you see pictures of, videos of, will be different because there is no set rule of what an altar can look like. And by that I mean that some will have candles and some won't. Some will have statues and some won't. So it's all based on the means of the funds you may have, how out you are, where you live, and so forth. And it's also based on your spiritual practice. So pagans, by the traditional meaning of it, like your Wiccans and eclectic pagans that are not so traditional, their altars will look different than someone that follows more of a traditional Hellenic path and tries to sit closer to the ancient ways, to use that phrase loosely. What I mean by that is that when we look at altars by Wiccans that worship the Greek gods or eclectic pagans and X, Y, and Z, you may see some things that a more traditional Hellenic polytheist may not have. So what I mean by that is that you look at some altars and you may see a deer skull or a raccoon skull or this bone or these bones, as an example, on like a Wiccan's altar to Artemis, just off the top of my head. And on a more, someone that worships more in a traditional way would not have bones on their altar space. The reason being that bones are connected to death, and death would create miasma. So you would have constant miasma on your altar that would need daily cleaning. And some people wouldn't be able to get past that for that fact, and it would really mess up their connection with the divine to have an unclean altar. So traditional people that are more traditional, they see bones on an altar and they'll be like, but then on the flip side, you got Wiccans and eclectic pagans that worship the Greek gods, and they'll have like Hecate altars or Artemis altars. They'll have bones and skulls. Now, plastic is one thing, but I'm talking there are people that you see videos that talk about how they found this raccoon skull or deer skull out in the woods that had been eaten away, and all that's left is a skull. And they put that on their altar. That's going to raise some eyebrows with some people. So all that to say that it is a very personal thing, and at the end of the day, it's whatever connects you to the gods. So for example, on my altars, you can see that I have a little bit of what they are related to and what relates to the certain god or goddess in mythology is what I usually try to do, such as Poseidon with the seashells, and then yellow candles with gold, kind of like the beach sand. So a lot of shell and beach energy is what I was going for Poseidon. And then with Dionysos, you have the grapevine, the theater mask. That's supposed to be kind of a theater mask. The grapes, and then the color purple, and of course this as well. So again, it varies, but this is kind of what I went for. And on the Aphrodite altar, you got Eros and love connections, such as red candles and pink flowers and so forth. So you just make it your own. And this is the god Hymen, by the way, the god of marriage. So this is kind of the love altar, I guess you could say. And then so forth down here. Can't really see it, but you got the tripod right here because the tripod was a symbol of victory. and you see who is right here. So yeah, just make it your own. So all I have to say that each is going to be individual, and you don't have to have a lot of fancy things, because as long as you have the minimal thing that is an offering to the gods, then you're doing good. And I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.